Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Global Town Hall 2025, held under the theme, The Future We Need. Now in its sixth year, the Global Town Hall is co-hosted by the Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia and Global Citizen. This annual gathering brings together world leaders, policymakers, activists, thought leaders, and civil societies from all corners of the globe, north, south, east, and west. Each town hall discussion is designed to capture perspectives from global civil societies, their views, aspirations, and concerns on today's most pressing challenges. This is a platform where everyone is welcome, where every voice carries weight, and where every contribution matters. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to host one of the world's only truly global grassroots conferences, run by a consortium of 226 civil society institutions and joined by over 7,600 participants from 115 countries. We extend our deepest appreciation to the Global Town Hall Consortium, consisting of 89 civil society organizations, 62 schools and universities, and 75 think tanks from around the world. We would also like to thank our media partners this year, Berita Satu, Investor Daily, Jakarta Globe, Text from IR, Harian Rakyat Merdeka Online, katadata.co.id, and Southeast Asia Desk. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined today by participants from Indonesia, Brazil, USA, Nigeria, Bangladesh, the Philippines, Pakistan, Ukraine, India, Rwanda, UK, China, Cameroon, UAE, New Zealand, Colombia, Madagascar, Azerbaijan, Montenegro, Bahamas, Chile, and many, many more from all regions of the world. To all of you tuning in, welcome and thank you for joining us. Today's program is a full 12-hour marathon discussion featuring 8 sessions that truly make the Global Town Hall around the world, around the clock. Our discussions will cover a wide range of topics, spanning from geopolitics, climate change, technology and AI, sustainable development, interfaith dialogue, and many more, featuring 75 speakers and discussants from across the globe. Throughout the day, feel free to share your moments with us from this event by mentioning @FPC Indo, @GLBLCTZN, and @Global Town Hall on your social media updates. To view the complete conference agenda, please visit our website at globaltownhall2025.com. Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment we will invite the founder and chairman of Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia, Dr. Dino Patijalal, to deliver his opening remarks. But before that, let us begin today's conference by taking a look back at the past year so far. Please enjoy the following video.
The pillars of peace and progress are buckling under the weight of impunity, inequality, and indifference.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Global Town Hall on the Future We Need. On behalf of FPCI and Global Citizen, we send our warmest greetings and respect to all our participants from 114 countries who are joining these conversations. This virtual Global Town Hall was established 5 years ago during the COVID-19 period. We were concerned that peoples around the world were feeling apocalyptic and that divisions and mistrust were prevalent over unity and cooperation in the global efforts to address the pandemic. And through the Global Town Hall, we wanted to make sure that peoples around the world would maintain goodwill and keep up hope in times of desperation. And Alhamdulillah, COVID-19 is now behind us, but the rationale to keep the Global Town Hall going is now even more compelling. As we stand today, the world is in flux, and it is in dire need of diplomatic innovation, actionable reforms, and bold solutions. The rules-based international order is losing credibility and in danger of collapsing. It is clear that the rules don't apply equally to all countries, and some are exempted. The spirit of the UN Charter is waning, and the wind of might makes right is growing. Nationalism is rising, not the right kind of nationalism, but insecure and often angry ones. And indeed, we are seeing too much nationalism and not enough humanity. Geopolitical rivalries are intensifying, along with the widening trust deficit that comes with it, and there is no sign that this is going to go away. Global military spending has risen for 10th consecutive years, and more than 100 countries have increased their military budgets in 2024, not only in absolute terms, but also as a percentage of GDP. Many multilateral institutions are no longer fit for purpose, and this includes the UN Security Council. The war in Ukraine remains without any hope for solution, and we saw over 69,000 people, mostly women and children and innocent civilians, were senselessly killed in Gaza. Defense spending is taking resources away from development and sustainability, and indeed a renewed arms race is now taking place. And worse, the world is falling behind in reaching many SDG goals by 2030. Only 17% of the SDG targets are on track, which is way too low. And scientists are saying that with current trends, it is inevitable that we will overshoot the 1.5-degree climate target set by the Paris Treaty. So with all this, you can feel the frustration of many world leaders at the recent UN General Assembly Annual Summit in New York. Many countries in the Global South, for example, feel that the present world order do not work for them. And the majority are calling for reforms of multinational institutions. And there's a sense that the world is distracted from the issues that really matter to world citizens. But at least in the UN, there's a platform for governments to speak. The peoples need to have their voices also. And there is a severe lack of global platform for civil societies. Many citizens in Asia, Africa, Latin America, Middle East feel marginalized and left out of conversations held by diplomats and officials in New York or Geneva. And herein lies the significance of this Global Town Hall. It is an independent platform to facilitate north-south, east-west dialogue of civil societies and leading minds to connect and converse. This dialogue is held on the basis of mutual respect and goodwill, where everyone takes part as equals. You know, the world looks like it's going in the wrong direction, but there is much hope. Civil societies are at the heart of this hope. Civil societies are an indispensable force for progress and peace. We really believe that. And these are civil societies who continue to believe in human dignity, in unity, in outreach, in cooperation. At FPCI, for example, we just held the largest civil society gathering ever seen in Southeast Asia to promote people-centered regionalism. Our partner, Global Citizen, hi Mick Sheldrick, my buddy, recently mobilized $1 billion of funding to protect the Amazon. So the future we need is not out of reach. It is very much within our capacity to achieve. For example, the world military spending in 2024 is $2.7 trillion. And 10 years ago, this number was way below at $1.7 trillion. And according to the UN, if we reallocate only 4% of that global military spending, we can end hunger by 2030. If we reallocate 10% of that global military spending, we can fully vaccinate every child in the world. And with 15% reallocation, we will have more than enough to cover the annual cost of climate adaptation in developing countries. So despite these encouraging possibilities, today we are faced with the hard truth that there is a frightening gap between the future we're heading towards and the future we need. Will it be a dangerous future where the UN Charter becomes irrelevant? Will it be a future of an unlivable 3-degree world? A future of spheres of influence dominated by hegemons? A future of widening gap and mistrust between nations? A future of more and more conflicts in every region of the world? A future where we lose sight of our common humanity? That is not the future we need. So today is the day for citizens of the world, for common people, for thinking citizens, for grassroots, wherever you are. Speak up, inform, argue, debate, disagree, challenge, advise, because the future belongs to us and to the next generation. Let us imagine the future we need. Let us own that future we need, and let us create that future we need together. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dino, for your opening remarks. Next, we would like to please welcome Michael Sheldrick, co-founder and Chief Policy, Impact, and Government Relations Officer at Global Citizen. Mick, the screen is yours.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you are, north, south, east, or west, welcome to the 2025 edition of this Global Town Hall. Together with the foreign policy community of Indonesia, my good friend Dingo, thank you, Global Citizen is proud to host this extraordinary event for the 4th consecutive year. Thousands of you are currently tuning in from around the world for what will be an incredible action-packed 11 hours. Now, if you haven't already, pull out your phones, share the link, message your friends, and invite them to join, dial in to this town hall. And while you're at it, ask them to download the Global Citizen app too, because this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and we need you not just for the next 11 hours, but we need you part of this movement taking action. Now, over the course of today's Global Town Hall, you're going to hear from incredible speakers about some of the most important issues that affect us all, from providing people around the world with access to energy, to addressing illegal deforestation, to providing access to education. Importantly, we're going to be providing ways for what all of you can do to take action on these issues. We'll also explore how civil society, how advocates, how campaigners, how activists can work together to drive accountability, to ensure that citizens have a seat at the table, that they have a voice in decision-making on issues that impact them. All of today's conversations share one goal: turning ideas into impact, talk into action. That's what Global Citizen and the Global Town Hall is all about. Now think of the next 11 hours as a playbook for how to navigate this fragmented, divided world in a way that can improve and impact lives for the better. So as you watch, and as you engage, and as you take action on the Global Citizen app, ask questions, share it with your friends, be provocative. You're also going to see plenty of QR codes throughout this broadcast. Scan them, download the Global Citizen app, and start taking action. Whether it's signing the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty, asking countries like the UK and France to pledge to the Amazon Fund to address illegal deforestation, or encouraging businesses in countries like Denmark and Australia to stand up and provide access to energy for those on the front lines. There is so much that you can do. Let me just share briefly what we've been working in at Global Citizen. Since the Global Citizen Festival in New York on September 27th, which mobilized a record 4.3 million citizen actions to protect the Amazon, expand energy access in Africa, and support children's education worldwide, we've kept the momentum going. Just weeks ago, on November 1st, ahead of COP30, the Global Citizen Festival took place in Latin America for the first time, in the heart of the Amazon, and mobilized more than $1 billion in commitments to protect, reward, and restore the Amazon. And just in a week's time, ahead of the G20, we'll be in Johannesburg for the close of our Scaling Up Renewables in Africa campaign to mobilize commitments to provide 10 million households with access to energy. These are just some of the moments where your engagement has made a difference. Lastly, through the recently launched FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund, you can apply right now if you're running a community-based organization or you work with grassroots organizations providing access to education, literacy for children around the world. You can apply right now for a grant of up to $250,000. Applications close December 31st, 2025, and the first round of grantees being awarded grants will be announced in early 2026. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Head to the Global Citizen website and apply for one of these extraordinary grants. We need you. We need citizens from around the world to keep driving progress. I know right now it can feel like our actions don't make a difference, but trust me, when we wake up every day, we have the opportunity to make a conscious decision whether or not our actions will leave a positive impact on those around us. There is so much we can do. I truly believe we have more ability than any previous generation that ever lived to impact the lives of others. We live at this moment in time where, because of the actions we take, people born 5, 10, 15 years from now will be impacted as a result. So you could say it is a gift to be alive in this moment, to have this opportunity, because if you ever wanted to live a profoundly meaningful life, now's the time to do it. The way to begin is to begin, as Eleanor Roosevelt once wrote. And with that, to kick us off, I want to thank my good friend Park Dingo and his extraordinary team at the Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia. Thank you so much. It's been a privilege to collaborate. I'm so excited to be working with you, especially just after Global Citizen's first ever event in Singapore in the ASEAN region. There's so much more to come. Let's finish the year on a high note and let's together continue to take action. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mick. And with that, let us begin today's Global Marathon discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the Global Town Hall 2025.